October saw one of the most dramatic trades of the 2022 NFL season. Christian McCaffrey was traded from the Carolina Panthers to the San Francisco 49ers. The Panthers are the only team that the 26-year-old running back has ever played with, and now the future of his career is under question. Was this a good deal for the 49ers? How will this affect McCaffrey's future? We'll be taking a look at all that and more in this video. First things first, why did the Panthers trade Christian McCaffrey? Christian McCaffrey has played for the Carolina Panthers since he was drafted to the team in 2017. He was the 8th overall pick and Carolina's first pick in that year's draft. He was mainly picked due to his extremely impressive college record as a running back. He was named the AP College Football Player of the Year in 2015 and broke the all-time NCAA record for most all-purpose yards in a season with 3,864. He would have been a great player on any team, but ultimately it was the Panthers that got him. Even with the Panthers, McCaffrey has generally been one of their most reliable players. He's one of only 3 players to have recorded 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving yards in the same season, which he did in 2019. However, for much of 2022, Christian McCaffrey has been a bit of a disappointment for the Panthers. He entered his second year of a 4-year, $64 million contract extension with the Panthers, the biggest contract ever for a running back. But the Panthers were now starting to feel as if the deal wasn't paying off. According to CBS Sports, the reason was the Carolina team had essentially collapsed around him. They didn't have enough draft picks lined up for 2024, and they desperately needed more players on the team that could turn things around. They specifically could no longer rely on Christian McCaffrey, who was proving to be far too expensive as a player who couldn't really fix the team's current problems. Up next, how did the trade materialize? Christian McCaffrey had been the face of the Panthers franchise for a while now, but it was now time to get rid of him and replace him with a new face. However, the Panthers weren't looking to get a new player on board immediately. After all, it doesn't seem like the team is going to get far in the 2022 season anyways. That's why instead of trading McCaffrey for another great player from another team and being stuck with the same exact problem, Carolina needed to trade him for picks in future drafts. Pretty much instantaneously, the 49ers made sense. The roster was already pretty stacked, but they definitely needed a solid running back to improve their offensive game. In the current NFL atmosphere where almost every team is defensively stacked and very few teams are offense-based, McCaffrey has proven to be one of the most valuable players in the league. Ultimately, the Panthers got into contact with the 49ers, and it's unclear whether or not they reached out to any other team as well, but it's very likely this was in the making for weeks, if not months. The Panthers agreed to trade McCaffrey in exchange for the 49ers' second, third, and fourth round picks in the 2023 NFL Draft, along with their fifth round pick in the 2024 Draft. Overall, it didn't seem like the Panthers were too rushed to get rid of their star player. However, this was a difficult choice the team eventually had to make. Coming up, why did the 49ers take the deal? There's a lot of debate around whether or not the deal was good for the Panthers, but when you look at their lineup for now, there was no other choice. They couldn't keep relying on a single player, and getting 3 extra picks in the next draft is going to ensure they have a stacked team for the coming seasons. But a lot of people are having a hard time understanding things from the 49ers' perspective. Did they really need to get rid of crucial draft picks in order to just get one player? They essentially just traded 4 future players, all of whom could have been great, in exchange for one player. But that's the thing about McCaffrey. With the draft picks, there's only a possibility of them being good, especially since it's the second, third, and fourth rounds. But when it comes to Christian McCaffrey, you know he's good. There's almost no question he can be a great addition to any team he's in, especially the 49ers, which desperately needed a running back of McCaffrey's caliber. Overall, McCaffrey is the perfect fit for the 49ers offensive lineup. He's a dominant player, a massive star, and knows his way around more than a few football fields. Of course, there are also downsides to the deal. First, the 49ers have just given up a ton of future young talent. Secondly, McCaffrey is very expensive, and while the 49ers aren't exactly short on money, they'd probably prefer to keep it. Still, the 49ers went all in on the deal, and we'll just have to wait to see whether or not it'll pay off for them in the end. Next, who are the biggest winners and losers of the trade deal? There are a lot of downsides and benefits to many different parties in the latest Christian McCaffrey trade deal. The biggest winner of the deal is probably Kyle Shanahan, the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. Shanahan was brought onto the team to improve the offensive side. However, most people initially thought this would only be a short-term deal, considering how expensive he was. He has one of the most expensive contracts for any coach in the NFL, and the 49ers might just keep him around for longer if they have McCaffrey on the team. The biggest loser of this deal is pretty much whoever plays quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. Having Christian McCaffrey as a running back on your side was sure to make any quarterback comfortable, but now that he's gone, there's very little optimism in the air. The best running back in the NFL is no longer on the team, and there will likely be no one good enough to truly take over his spot. On the other hand, another huge winner from the trade is Jimmy Garoppolo, the primary quarterback for the 49ers. Jimmy is a winner for a lot of the same reasons why quarterbacks from the Panthers are losers. He has by far the the best running back in the NFL on his side, and it's going to improve his own abilities, stats, and reputation as a player. But arguably, the biggest loser on the Panthers side for this deal is head coach Steve Wilks. He's likely to leave the team now that McCaffrey is gone, and it'll be hard to find another job after that. Up next, did anyone else make an offer for Christian McCaffrey? As it turns out, the San Francisco 49ers were not the only team to make an offer for Christian McCaffrey, of course. The running back was in high demand in an NFL where there were very few offensive options. Numerous teams put out their offers, but perhaps no offer was more publicized than that of the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams wanted to give the Panthers almost the exact same deal as the 49ers, but there was one exception that was completely out of their control: the 4th-round pick. They had already traded their 4th-round pick for Sony Mitchell earlier this year, and because of this, they offered their 5th-round pick instead. This, of course, was not sufficient for the Carolina Panthers. Not only did Carolina need picks, but they also needed high-quality players that could completely turn the team around. Because of this, the Panthers decided to go with the 49ers instead. It's important to note the Rams could have easily made a more attractive deal, but they decided against it because they weren't going all in. The Panthers would not have traded a guy like McCaffrey to any team if they didn't go all in. The Rams have been struggling with the Super Bowl hangover as of late, and the addition of McCaffrey to the team would have definitely helped them out in more than a few ways. Their offensive side is going to continue to struggle without a strong running back like McCaffrey. And finally, what's next for McCaffrey? Considering the fact that Christian McCaffrey has never played for an NFL team aside from the Carolina Panthers, there's still some doubt about whether or not he'll be able to pull off the same magic as before. But if there's one thing we know about McCaffrey, it's that you can never count him out. Just look at his college career, for example. He was one of the greatest running backs in the history of the NCAA, and he can surely recreate the magic with the San Francisco 49ers. For now, the team's sights are set on the next Super Bowl. McCaffrey's already proven himself in his debut for the team against the Chiefs, but whether or not he'll be able to lead the team into the Super Bowl remains to be seen. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think the 49ers should have taken the deal? Let us know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.